Hello folks and welcome to the channel. Today we are on our way to the human comedy. We've had a bit of a surprise. Whilst at work I got a bit of a message on the old PlayStation chat, and it looks like somebody has made leaps and bounds in one of the human comedy races at Kyoto Driving Park. So I come on to find that ultimately we've been knocked out of first place and into second on the friends list. So I get a message from Mr. Maguire. There he is, sitting at 23 laps, but he didn't tell me that. All I got was a message that says Alpine VGT, really good at Kyoto Park. And I replied, oh great stuff, I'll have to try that. I'm going to be trying the RX7 engine swap when I get home. Little did I realise that ultimately I've lost my evening. It's all gone. I'm trying this VGT and I can't get the blooming thing to work. So let's go through the setup. Show you what we've got. It's an Alpine VGT. It's £1 million. 1 million credits from the market. The setup is really fixed. There's not a lot you can do with it. You can choose your tyres. You can choose a handbrake. You can't choose suspension. You can't do differential. Transmission set at 0. You can change between the fully customizable and the normal if you want, I guess. Well, that's an interesting setup. Look, it takes you to 600.56 and you can't change it. So ultimately back that down to 700 and you can push it up just a little bit and tote yourself back to the 450 target. And I think that's, yeah, that's as close as you're gonna get, folks. 548.93, and that's your setup. There's nothing else you can do with it. It really is what it is. You can't say Gero because I've been down to the auto shop. Nothing you can change. So with that, folks, I wonder, is there a little bit there we can just pop on? No, can't do anything with that either. So 7170, that's the only changes you can make. Settings for the race then. We do this every day. You guys should be used to it, but if you're new here, traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off, manual transmission. My settings for the controller, I'm using steering wheel, pedals, buttons open, configuration, controller sensitivity 0, force feedback 5, force feedback sensitivity 5. That's your lot. I'm in second place on 22 laps. I really want 23. Let's see if we can do it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Have I got sound? Chickadee boo. Yeah, we have. So here we go. Brake balance we're going to throw to the rear. It goes really well round corners, this thing, under power. It's got lots of downforce naturally because it's a VGT car. We'll give it the beans. Laps are already at more than we're going to do on the fuel, so we don't need to worry about fueling. What we've got to do is just get a butt in it. Try not to swear then. What we've got to do is just get our butt in gear and get on with this race. But the problem is we're on hard tyres. We're going to attempt a no stopper because that's what my instructions were. You don't need to pit. So the tyres are going to be really good, and as you can see down the bottom, I've probably only done 2 laps practice. And what I've worked out in those 2 laps are you can brake a little bit later than the rest of the field, so you can make inroads, but it's wildly underpowered. We've really had to clip its wings I couldn't find anything to give us an advantage. And the only thing is we're going to save around about 20 seconds by not pitting. But I don't think that's enough to get 23rd lap. Generally don't. So, massive thanks to Mr. Maguire for shouting out and give us the heads up, because if we can get us to 23 laps, then there's a chance that, well, there are some 23 laps on the old top 10 stars, but I don't think Mr. Maguire made it into the top 10 stars, so I'm not entirely sure this will make it into the top 10 stars. But there are 2 other Alpine VGTs. There are, but I'm not entirely sure that it's possible to get them down to the required PP. See how much later we brake then than the Mitzi was able to. We don't really have these guys on top speed. We can't adjust the gearbox at all. You can't go and buy any parts for it. There's nothing there. It's one of the VGT cars. It's pretty much limited. So we've made it to 9th place on lap 1. And you'll see just how much we suffer under acceleration. We will attempt to slipstream the Porsche and see if he can drag us down the start-finish straight. But the one thing we do know is this will ultimately get quicker the entire race. If we don't have to change tyres, if we don't have to fuel up, this thing is going to just get quicker and quicker and quicker. And I did this race for the last 2 nights, folks, trying to find an engine swap that will get us to 23 laps. Thank you, Mr. Porsche, that was a bit rude. You didn't have to make all 4 wheels go on the tarmac. You do know that, don't you? However, we tried this the last 2 nights, trying to put a video together with an engine swap. I've tried 4 or 5 different cars, and they all suffer the same sort of fate. Not really got enough legs to get us through the race. You have to pin their ears back so far that they really are disadvantaged. So I know the Enzo's capable, and I've been doing laps in that, but I'm just not a quick enough driver, I'm afraid. And that could be it, folks. I could have reached my limit here. I could be absolutely useless at this, and I'm just making videos for the sake of it. And you're watching them, and we know that's not the case. However, I'm really struggling. I've spent 6 million credits on cars for this thing, just to try and make progress, and we are steadily. What we know is this thing is going to get faster, and it will get faster because I'm used to driving it, and it'll get faster because it's using less fuel. Sorry, it's carrying less and less fuel. Still got damage on the front. Going to brake a touch later than Mr. Hazal, and we will beat Mr. Hazal into the corner, catching Mr. Tap AI. Up into 6th place. Got that Beetle just trying to show his nose. We will brake a touch later than him and drift into the corner. Now here's what I mean by tyre wear that's quite extraordinary, really. Those tyres are only just showing a modicum of wear, and we're 2 laps in. And the grey sky, isn't it? Very grey sky. So what we anticipate here is a lap time somewhere in the region of 2:45. It's probably not going to be. It's going to be a 47, I'd say, or a 48. Oh, let's see if we can get the draft off that Mustang there. 2:47.9, so almost a 48. So what we know is we're going to use this fuel probably most of it underneath the Mustang, underneath the NSX. It's so grey it looks like it's going to rain. Right, so as we use the fuel, we're going to get faster, we believe, into 4th place. Following Mr. Fraga and Mr. Valverde. Let's get the hammer down. Sun's out, guns out. 25.4 laps of fuel. This thing's a monster on fuel consumption. It does really well on the economy, doesn't it? Just unwind that steering and let this car just have its head. So the tyre wear's now just showing on the fronts. I believe we've wound the tyre back to all the way to the rear. We have. We worked that out on the first little 2 laps, didn't we? Did. But when we go into these races cold, it really is quite a thing to work out how to best drive the car. I think the best example of that was doing the K-Car Cup in the Beat 91 with the engine swap. The gearing on that was so weird. It took a few laps to work out how to drive that really quickly and get the speed out of it. And I will say it's pretty similar with this kind of car, with the VGT. It's not. See how we slid into that corner? It was quite horrific. I braked late but turned in and it just let go, but it was controllable. So hey ho, 4th place, still going to brake late into the corner than we normally do. And there's that slide again, and we've got to be careful with that because we don't want to really hammer those tyres, do we? Got to brake in a straight line. We've got to initiate the brake in a straight line and then lift off like you're trail braking. This car does like to brake just by lifting off the throttle, I've noticed that. And that's something I've got to be aware of as I'm driving. I've got to actually drive it and not let it drive me, because that's where I'll be slow. If I lift off to brake, that's not really very good. I've got to just keep on the throttle, go that 20 extra yards and brake positively. That's where I'll be losing time. We are 6.97 seconds off the lead. We've just beaten our fastest lap by 0.3 of a second, which tells me that we're getting faster. The fastest lap of the race, Mr. Fraga, the car in front, he's done a 2:47.2. So we're not far off the fastest lap. But what we do know, we've run this race enough, folks, to know the real story that's going on here. So of those 3 cars in front, Mr. Solis is the one that's going to come second, I reckon. He will pit every 7 or 8 laps, and he will just have to pit because his tyres are going to get up, because he's running mediums. But ultimately the 2 cars behind are going to run a bit longer. They're going to go 8 or 9 or 10 laps. They will both ultimately just pit the once. Mr. Solis will pit twice. We are only 4.6 seconds off the lead, so these 2 guys are really putting on a bit of a race for us. They're giving me something to chase. Fuel is absolutely fine. 4 seconds in, we're purple sectoring. I've just missed the apex. See if we can nip up the outside of Mr. Valverde and beat him around the outside. No, I don't think we're going to do that. I think what we're going to end up doing is running the long way, cutting back on the inside. There we go. That's put him to the rear. Brake after the yellow bit, and then take the apex tight. Double apex it. He's on my left. I don't want him to hit me. I'm going to give him room. He'll probably beat me up the hill. There he goes. Lovely looking car, that. I do like that. Straight line braking around the outside. We got him. No, he's going to lean on us, the cheeky monkey. We're good. Don't mind swapping a bit of paint with a guy that will swap a bit of paint, and he's happy to do so. So we've just got to keep plodding on, folks, because ultimately what's going to happen is these guys are going to pit. And as long as we're improving on our time every lap, which I don't know if we will this time round, but as long as we keep knocking it down, because we're losing fuel weight, the tyres aren't going to degrade immensely. 2:47.9, so we really have lost 0.6 of a second, but I'll put that down to the fact that we were toying with Mr. Fraga there a bit. I've always said, don't race them, chase them. That means get past them, get up to them, overtake them at the earliest opportunity, and don't give them a chance to block you. That's how you lose the race. The AI cars seem to react when you're there. They drive a lot faster when you're around them. If you get past them, put them behind you, they will get on with their own race and not concentrate on you. So I think it's a bit of a core programming issue, to be honest, with the game, where the AI are generally reacting to you. We got past him now, so now we've got to make progress and not allow him to come back at us. Put him to the outside and then just... That's the way. We're not going to block him, we're just going to prevent him from making progress. Slightly different thing. We're going to concentrate on Mr. Solis. We are so much quicker through there than the AI cars. The fronts are taking a beating at the moment, but they're not wearing that heavily. So 5 laps in, and we've got to really... We made some calculations when I was running this race in the Enzo. If you're going to do 25 laps, you've got to be running in the region of 2-minute 30s, not taking a pit stop into account. So we're running 2:47s, so that's 20 laps with a 15-second deficit. That's 4 laps. That's the difference between 21 laps and 25, and we're just scraping in 22 with the other cars we're running, and this looks like a 22 lap car at this moment. It's highly probable that I've got the wrong VGT and I'm making a fool of myself, like I have the last 2 days when I've been running other cars and just not making any progress at all, which is really frustrating, especially when you put in lots of time and effort in and spending all your credits. But there we go. So let's hope this is a faster lap. Let's start to make progress. A 2:46.9, good. The last lap should have been a 2:43, 2:47.3. We should have been a 2:47 dead. So we're hoping this next lap is a 2:46.7. Purely because of losing fuel weight. Past Mr. Solis. Now we can get past him, we can lose him. We can leave him in our rear. We've got the fastest lap. Doing a bit of a combined trail brake throttle there. Now back on the throttle and get us down the straight. There we go. It does feel like we're driving the Radical again. Going to brake just before that second white line. So much later than previous cars. Keep improving. I want to be faster every lap because we're reducing fuel weight, and I think the tyres will be good for it. Don't want to be putting the car sideways. That was a mistake. I turned in the braking phase and I shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, we're now 3.12 seconds ahead of Mr. Solis. Do you know how he was quite quick? We've always been reeling him in, but Mr. Fraga was able to ultimately try and hang with us. they're all on their own little strategies. They've all got their own fuel rate. They're wearing tyres. They're on different tyres. So each opponent has got its own fuel strategy and their own race strategy, and they will try and stick to it. But ultimately, they will try and race you. So if you can make your way past them without much ado, you won't have those issues that people complain of the AI hit me, the AI clipped me, they blocked me, they threw me off the track. They do that, we know that. You've just got to do your best to get past them and put it behind you. So 4.3 seconds ahead. We're hoping for a 2:46.7. 2:46.1. So the next lap we've got to beat is a 2:46.4. I'm just trying to beat each lap time by 0.3. 2:46.4 next time round. That's what we want to stay on target. I don't know how much of a target it's going to be, how much we're going to get, but 20 laps we're going to take off best part of 10 seconds, and then it's probably the next time we run this race that will be faster, because we're training ourselves to drive this car, and we then need to put 2:35 laps in, 2:36 laps, 2-minute 36s from the get-go. That's how we're going to get faster at this race. We're not going to get faster wearing the tyres out though, are we? Did feel like a good entry, but the car was very stable. We lost a lot of time though, didn't we? Almost. The front went very light then as we hit that curb. We're on the grass, let's get it back. There we go. We're still aiming for a 2:46.4. And we head up the hill. Used to get a penalty as you went across that curb in GranTurismo Sport. You don't quite get to one now. And away we go. 7.5 seconds ahead, and I think Mr. Solis will attempt, or you actually will go to the pits this lap or next lap. Oh dear, that was a bit robbing Peter to pay Paul. That was naughty. I didn't want a penalty from that. Got to be careful. We don't want penalties. That'll really mess with the process flow. 2:46.5, so we were a tenth slower then. And not forgetting, we've got reducing fuel weight, but we've also got wearing tyres. We have to try and drive with those. Well, they're going to be good. Times that wear by 2 more times, and you've not even used half the tyres, so we're on it here. We're going. We're good. Tyres are going to be good for the race, so let's just drive through them. Push on. We've got 21 laps of fuel, so that's awesome. So we do have a high turbo available, and I did try and get the setup to meet it, but you've got very little flex in the options. I don't know if you can't alter the wings or anything, so ultimately you can only mess with the two little bits of engine management. You've got the ECU limiter, and then you've got the actual power limiter, the second limiter thing, and you can chuck some weight on. I did actually start the first 2 laps with 50 kilograms of weight to try and give us more flex in the car, to try and get us a bit more power, and it works better off the lightweight, off lesser weight. You get more out of the car without carrying that extra 50 kilos. We're up on the lap time. Where we are going to struggle, folks, is when we get down to this we should actually be running a 2:46.1 now. If we're taking 0.3 off for the fuel loss. Car just started to turn into me there. I could have probably braked half a car length later, and that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm genuinely trying to brake later and later and later. Not going down to second gear there anymore. I'm going to try and brake exactly on the last white line there. So we're looking for a 2:46.1 in line with our previous fastest lap. 2:45.9. So this lap needs to be a 2:45.8. Solis has gone to the pits. 8 laps complete. Look at that, 46% fuel before his tyres are worn out. So he's tyre limited. We're trying to borrow a bit off all these apexes, trying to straighten that line, shorten the distance to travel. We lost half a second there. That's not beneficial to us. That might have been the entry to turn 1, to be honest. Let's get the hammer down. We still need to lose 10 seconds a lap, and I don't know how that's going to be possible. I'm really concerned that I'm not going to have a video to post because I'm not going to be able to match our friend Mr. Maguire. And that'd be a bit of a shame because it really is a good call. If he's found a car that's going to do this and make his way to the top of the ladder, he's done really well. And if anybody wants to do that with me and really show me up and really give me a tough challenge, this is the way to do it, because it's really made me think. It's genuinely made me think, how am I going to get the power out of this car? And it could be traction control. It could be the fact that I use TC. Tried to go really late into there. Try and get the car straight as we can. Shorten the distance as much as possible. How do you think we're doing? The sky's very grey again on the northern end of the circuit. I say northern. Behind us the sky is very grey. There's some blue clouds there. I don't think we're going to get that lap. We're back in the 46s, almost the 48s. So do we think that was the tyres, or do you think that was that half a second we lost coming through this part of the circuit? We were a good second down. I changed up early through here, didn't I? And I'm not going to do that again. Keep the 4th gear till we're out of this complex. Now up to 5th as we crest the hill and go down towards this long sweeping left-hander. Brake later. Back on the gas, down to 3rd. Back up to 4th. Try and keep the car tight. Use the aero. 24 seconds in the lead. Brake just before that white line on the left. The car was on the edge of braking there. That was absolutely perfect for entering the corner. Absolutely stack loads of fuel. We've potentially got 13 laps to do. Where were we on the lap times? We've got what, 26 minutes of the race gone? Or is that 26 minutes of the race left? 26 minutes of the race gone. Sun's out. Well, that feels good on your back as you come up there. It's so much, it feels so much faster when it's sunnier. It feels really slow when the sun's gone in. And I wonder if that is the tyre temperature or the track temperature. Looks like we're back on a hot one. Had to slow down there. The car felt really quick. So we were looking at a 46.1. This should be a 45.8 we need to get here. A 45.5 we need to get here. Not entirely sure if that's going to happen. We're revving this thing high. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. 46.1. We've just got to be faster. What I know is we normally finish a minute 20 in front of the AI. We need to be a good, well, we need to have lapped everybody twice officially. There's Mr. Valverde to the pits at roughly the half distance. Oh my lord, that was tragic. That was me trying to turn in and get to the apex too early. That was entirely my fault, and I don't need to do that again. Got to brake in a straight line. Come on, get a grip. Hoping, and I'll say this out loud, I've heard some rumours, I've read a couple of posts, I think they're from GT Planet or somebody's picked them up from GT Planet, but I don't want to drop them in it if they're wrong. I've heard that we're going to get 9 new cars at the end of this month. They're going to be project cars, so they're going to be unusual from what I've seen. We're going to get like a Rally Raid Tundra. Something that's more capable off-road on the rally tracks. We're going to get another version of the Stratos. We're going to get a more rally spec Stratos to be able to compete with something like the Audi. But we're also going to get some quite little treasured cars, I think. Some things that come from good stables. I'm going to keep it to myself, what they are from what I've read, because A, I can't remember, and B, I don't know if it's true. I think I might have dreamt it, I don't know. But if we get 9 cars at the end of this month, we're only potentially 2 weeks away. So there should be an announcement in the next couple of days, I'd have thought, either late this week or early next. So we were 46.4, so we were half a second slower, but we did slide into that corner, didn't we? And I probably borrowed too much there. We're just letting it go to pot a little bit. 33 seconds in the lead. Mr. Tapai's gone straight in. He was on 3% of fuel, so he's took his tyres to the death. Mr. Gallo's gone in, but Mr. Caraza has carried on. Everybody's gone to the pit halfway then. Just braked a bit early there to check up, to give myself a chance to get round that corner. The lap before I felt we'd done that corner absolutely bob on, and then I blew it the next corner, and this time round, because of being cautious, don't need to be that way. 3/4 of a second down at roughly the halfway point of the lap, which is poor. The fact that we don't have to stop is a massive bonus, you know. I would suggest it's probably worth more like 30 seconds in a lap time, because you've got to slow down into the pit lane. Even though we tend not to in this game, we hit the pit lane line, giving it the full beans on most circuits. You don't really have to lift, but then you've got the rudimentary drive down the pit lane under pit lane speeds that we have no control over, and quite a few people definitely make a point of it on some of the Facebook forums. I call them forums, they're not really forums anymore, are they? But Facebook pages, groups, saying how disappointed it is that a pit stop lasts 49 seconds when the AI take 12. Exaggerating. But ultimately we're not going to bother with a pit stop this time round. We're going to do everything we can to omit one. So that's 38 seconds in the lead. 12 laps done with 26 seconds remaining. And that tells me we're not on it, folks. We're not going fast enough. 2:46.7. We are not finding the speed to allow us to genuinely make progress and get faster. We are actually, folks, going backwards. We've gone airborne. We caught that, and we're purple sectored. Well, would you believe it? Tried that a bit later into there. Try and just not change down to third, get the car in, bit of lift and poke. Right hand on the throttle with the right foot, 41 seconds in the lead. Second line, we're going to brake on straight line. Turn in and we still slide, so the tyres have actually passed that point. We have to brake before that line. Mr. Yamanaka's gone in. Mr. Neto's gone in. Mr. Karazar is still going. I wonder if we've got the wrong VGT, or is it because I'm a lumberjack and no, keep your mind in the game. Is it because I'm a traction controller and we've reached our terminal limit, one would say? We won't know. Well, you won't know, because if I don't do it, I ain't posting it, folks. And I should do, though, really. I should be 100% honest. It's all about having cars that are capable of winning the race, and that's what this is going to do. I'm just not going to get to my friends list top, which guts me, because yesterday I was. But no. Our friend who gave us the heads up did exactly what I asked him to. I do ask you to do this, folks, and some of you do. And it's really good that you do. I'm really enjoying the game. It's phenomenal. It's a game I spend hours playing, absolutely hours, and I probably should spend more time with the family, but no, I know I should spend more time with the family, and we've just had Christmas, and We're back at work after Christmas, but have we got cars in front of us? Yeah, we have got a yellow one. That looks like a Civic. I want to race one of them round here, see if that's any good. There's a touring car version of the Civic, which it probably takes an engine swap, or it's got an engine swap in it. But if it can go, I'd love to drive that round here. There's also the Golf that has the Escudo engine, which probably might be worth a shot if its power is, if its PP can make fit this. But all that power through the front wheels of that car must be horrendous. Two cars in front. So the last lap was almost on our PB. It was a 2:46.085, which is only a tenth and a bit just over our PB attempt. Got a break between the two. Car just wants to try and drive past the apex, but I won't want it to let it. The yellow Civic so reminds me of a very popular car in the UK. It was called the Hornet. It had Benson and Hedges sort of livery with the Hornet on the front, following Eddie Jordan's Formula 1 team. I think they had Honda engines at the time, and they put some of their technology or some of their sponsorship into that little Honda Civic. I actually saw one in town last year. It was after COVID, actually, after the COVID lockdown. We just made that inside the Beamer. And going past that Beamer there, I've just got a new skin for mine. Thank you, JB. It's an engine swap car, that one. And I want to try that at this circuit. What I've found now is it's very difficult for me to actually not race these cars without commentating. With 0.3 of a second purple sector. A 45.5, so there we go, fastest lap of the race. Tyre wear is still there, it's not degraded that much, it's just about us hitting the numbers every lap. We're well off our target time. We're probably, oh, I've done that again, I've hit that part of that corner. It must be higher than the front of the car because the car flies off it. The suspension doesn't buckle, the actual front of the car seems to hit something and pitches up, so I've just got to remember that. I thought that was a one-off event, but no. It's pretty grim. Halfway between the two. Get it back into the apex, that's the way. Straighten that steering wheel. And away we go, power down. Right, we're 1 minute and 3 seconds ahead, 15 laps in. Ideally, we're looking to do another 7. 3:7 to 21. We've only got 19 minutes left, so I still think we need to be doing 2 minute 30 something laps to get anywhere near a 23rd lap. And it's nothing to do with the difficulty of the game at this point, because ultimately we are faster than the AI. We're winning the race, we're just trying to win it by a particular margin. And there's nothing in this car to give us that advantage. Unless it's medium tyres. Medium tyres will give us corner speed, but how do we get enough room in the PP to get the medium tyres on the car? It's highly probable that the medium tyres will get us that far, you know. Just got to find the PP. That's a phrase, that. Got to find the PP. We know where the PP is, don't we? Yes. Anyway, we ran at 45.5 last lap. We absolutely smashed our PB. A couple of cars in front on the straight. Yeah, 2 of them. Back into the 46s. Gonna try and trail brake into this one a lot longer. Didn't make it successfully though, did I? I lifted off way too early. I didn't leave any brakes on there at all. Right, we're going to be careful about the end of this end curb. We're not going to hit it with the front of the car. There we go, that's the way to do it. Coming up to the AE86 purple sector. I have to go around his outside. Power down. Actually felt really good, that corner. That felt fast. That felt really good. And purple sector, half a second. Braked a little bit too early, then lifted off and braked again. It's really weird how the automatic gearbox, or the gearbox that's in the car that you can't change, has a 0 speed setting. That's really quite strange. You can't alter it at all. We run a bit wide there, but try a new line, straighten the wheel up. Mr. Suswillow takes the pits. We didn't really lose any time there, did we? I don't know how we're going to get onto that 23rd lap. I can't see it, folks. I'll knock me down with a feather if we get anywhere near it. Front end of the car washed out because I didn't change down gear. I was too busy looking at the time and about to say 1 minute 17 seconds in the lead. Not forgetting we haven't pitted. Coming up to the back of a Golf. Now I know when I ran this race against the Enzo, which I haven't posted, I must admit, we went past this Golf all the way around the next element of the track. We overtook him down the hill at the far side. A 2:45.7. So relatively quick again, but not ahead of our PB time. But on sort of a faster lap, but not fantastic. Lift into the corner, keep the power lift, do not hit that curb. Oh, I did, it really threw us. Oh, we missed the wall, that was great. Can't hit the end of that curb. We got this corner right and it set us up for the entire lap, didn't it? Try and borrow a bit of corner there. Oh, we sort of made that back up there, didn't we? So where are we on fuel? We're past half a tank now. So the car should be phenomenally lighter. I mean, 50 kilogram maybe if we have 100 litres to do the race. We never have any sort of idea how much fuel we have in the car though, do we? But with that being the case, let's keep piling the pressure on ourselves. Come on, let's go, go, go. 12.4 laps of fuel left. There's Mr. Solis into the pits for the second time. We're still purple sectoring. Mr. Carazar kept out. I don't know if he ever pitted. Mr. Carazar, 1 minute 24 ahead. Solis really does fall back down the field. Who are we catching here? Does anybody know? Can you spot what it is yet? It looks like a Mercedes A series, A45. Is that what it'll be? Don't want it to slow down to second, come on. That's twice I've not changed down to second when I needed to. Second gear wasn't good there. Mr. Mendoza, I'm coming up the outside. Getting a bit scrappy. So 12 laps to go. Sorry, 12 minutes 40 seconds to go. Not 12 laps. A 45.9, so we're in there. That A-Class came back at me there. He was using my draft, wasn't he, my slipstream. We're just so much quicker around the corner than they are. Don't hit that end curve. Come on, Jimbo. Sort it. Better. Are we purple? Yes. Don't always trust those purple sectors on this part of the track. Front right tyres about 50% done. He's going to get us all the way to the end of the race though, isn't he? 1 minute 30 seconds in the lead. Purple sector again. Properly hit that apex this time. Half a second purple sector. 1 minute 33 in the lead. I'm really running a wide corner here. I don't want to be doing that. I suppose if I keep my momentum up, we're doing all right. Still virtually half a second up. Brake on the yellow bits. Really got to keep going. We've got to keep trying. Got to keep pushing as hard as we can. I think we're only 15 seconds ahead of where we normally are in the race. Managed to get down to the right gear. It still don't want to turn, but let's make it happen. Almost 10 minutes left of the race. 3 more laps. I'm only going to get 22. I'm properly gutted. So it means another night of no video. And that sun's low. Three more laps inside 10 minutes. There's a chance. No, there isn't, because this isn't the end of lap 19. This is the start of lap 19. I'm about 1 minute 30 seconds shy. I need to be doing 2 minute 30 something laps to be anywhere near. And I'm not doing that. Too many mistakes. Not fast enough. Fuel's fine. Seem to be stuck in a bit of a rut where I can't progress. And I know many will be saying turn off traction control. You'll be much faster. You know, genuinely I probably would. If my brain could work out throttle control with my right foot. I don't have any. Purple sector in again. That last lap was a PB, wasn't it? A 245.43. It was 0.009 faster than the previous fastest lap. And I went through that corner not actually looking at the road, I actually was looking over at the clock. As we rally car that through that apex, that is absolutely appalling. I actually didn't expect that Mitsubishi to quite brake so much, and I turned in sort of on top of him. Just keep pushing on. I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings. That's what they say. Come around to complete another lap then. That's a 45.060, so we really are going much faster with the lesser fuel load. Laps remaining, 0 on the fuel. Ooh, 9.9. It went past 10 and didn't like that. Coming up the Acura behind the GT86, the GR car. Another purple sector again. Really wide, but let's see if we can maintain the speed. Straighten the wheel up. Probably not going to purple sector now, but we did. We really lost this in the middle of the race, didn't we? So I suppose really now we're looking at the time and what we've got to go and where we are in the race. Ultimately, this does what it says on the tin. It gets you a win, a gold. We are 1 minute 45 seconds ahead, probably some 25 seconds ahead of where we normally are in the race, and that is probably the pit stop. So I'm actually not running any faster laps than I would with any of the engine swap cars. We are just a pit stop up to the advantage of. We need to get our nose into that 23rd lap, and with 5 minutes 13 to go, we're not going to do it. But we are going to win the race, so this is a good one for a win. It's another alternative, and it's the first no stopper I've ever done. So, massive shout out to Mr. Maguire as we leave the circuit. Oops. We're definitely going to get to lap 22. And we're lapping up to 12th place as it stands. What is it, Ford Focus? ST or RS? RS by the looks of it. No, we're not pit stopping. Where are you going? You wanted to, didn't you? The RS is faster. How is that even possible? We're going to cut his nose off as we go into the corner. That was a 2:45.6. We need to find 4 or 5 seconds a lap, don't we? Oh, I bumped the end of there. I lifted the throttle to see if it would work, and it did stop just taking the bump. Purple sector. Really is quite gentle on the tyres, this car. So we've had a little bit of silence there. We're on lap 21, 2 minutes 22 to go. We're only going to make the 22nd lap. Changed down to second too early. Should have changed that on the apex. We're not really thrashing. We're not even at 75% of fuel used yet. I've just got to get faster. This is no different to Lego, you know. Lego Majori, human comedy. I pretty much think any car you use for Lego out of those GR3 cars you're going to win, and on this one anything that you can get to a 2-minute 45 lap is going to win this race, even with a pit stop. As we enter the final lap, we say that with 1 minute 34 to go. We're only one pit stop ahead, so best part of 20 seconds ahead of where we normally are. I've got to find some real time to get this to the top of the friends list, but the way things are, do I post it or don't I? I don't want to post stuff for the sake of posting it, but it's a very capable car. Oh, we've hit that wall again, got to stop that. We're almost going to be 2 minutes ahead. Purple sector. Just getting faster and faster, which is great. We didn't change out of 5th. We do. Trying to get some acceleration back in. Can we be 2 minutes ahead by the end? Purple sector. The headlights are on. You see them on the wall, the inside of the Armco as it goes around the track. So we are at the end of the race. Mr. Solis has taken the fastest lap of the race with a 2:44, and I know I can do those 44s in the end zone. But the end zone needs pit stops. So you want to do a no stopper to win this race, this is the car to use. So if anybody, and there probably won't be many of you, but if anybody gets this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you very much for watching, listening to my blatherings. There we go, drifting the car again, just for you guys. It's appreciated that you get this far, that you've actually subscribed. If you have, if you haven't, consider it. What have you got to lose? What's the worst that can happen? One of my favourite sayings. And with that, we'll one more corner. Everybody else has finished because the time has finished. We were 1 minute 56 ahead of everybody. Mr. Solis got to the end of the lap there and put his fastest in. We're not going to be able to do that. Here we go, crossing the line. I've got a bad back. A 2:46 in first, 22 laps. Not enough. Well done, Mr. Maguire. And there we are. Everybody got lapped down to 12th. Oh, there's loads of on just one laps. 18th got 2 laps behind them. But there you have it. Mr. Solis fastest lap. We'll just back that up. There's Mr. Maguire at the front. Well, thank you, folks. Appreciate your time and effort. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye now.